Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of the Pondering Nerds. I'm one of your hosts, Mickey, and with me we have Alyssa.
Hey.
Nate.
What's up?
And Joy.
What's up?
Yeah, we are glad to have you here with us today. We're going to talk about some really fun topics, one of which is a really cool area of comics that's really good to cover because there's a whole wide world of comics out there, and some of them are very well known, and a lot of movies are being made today from them, but some of them aren't so well known, and we want to share a bunch of them with you. So today's topic is going to be obscure comics. So yeah, I'm going to start off with Nate. Yeah, what kind of obscure comics have you been reading or are you familiar with that we should know about?
I really wish you hadn't started with me because I don't know. I was like,
or do you know that you want to check out?
I mean, not like, see, I'm the kind of person that like, I can totally see something as in movie form that I had no prior knowledge of and be like super happy with the movie. Like, you know, a lot of people say like it's nowhere near the book or whatever. Like, I usually don't have that problem because I'm not a real big reader. I don't know what that is nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not a movie or on the TV, man. I don't really watch it, but like, I don't know, man. I mean, I kind of like when, you know, like Guardians of the Galaxy is a good example. You know, it's one of these movies that it just came out. I haven't got a chance to see it yet, but I've heard really good things, and it's a comic book series that not a lot of people are familiar with. And I like franchises like that where stuff comes out and it's, you know, it's something new, it's something fresh, it's not something that's played over and over. I don't know, the one that I want to throw out there, and I only want to throw this out there because, like, I want to drive this home to anybody that'll listen. Like, they have to remake Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm sorry. Like, I just have to throw that out there. I know that was a book series. Technically, that was a book series before it was comic books, before it was a cartoon. Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan totally effed that up, and I want retribution. Like, I want to see it. I want to see like James Cameron or Peter Jackson or Michael Bay even maybe like get their hands on it and, you know, run with it. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm totally not into obscure comics. At least we got me out of the way.
No. But like, you make a really good point though. A lot of people learn about comic books from movies or from TV shows or from wherever, you know, word of mouth. I mean, there are a lot of comic books in the world, so it's perfectly fine with where you learn about comic books as long as, you know, you pursue your interest. If you see a really cool story and you want to read up about it, it's totally out there. So
yeah, and that's one of the things, like when you get to watch one of those movies, then you get to go back and like you get to do the fun nerd fact checking, like is that character really do that, you know, stuff like that.
Or just get really pissed off.
Yeah, right. If it's not accurate, you're just like, what?
Pretty much. Like, what the hell? Why did they do that? Why did they lie to me? How about you, Joy? What kind of obscure comic books do you know about, or you're interested in reading in the future?
I'm kind of in the same boat. I read a lot of X-Men comics, so there's a lot of storylines that I feel like people don't really know about. That I would like them probably to cover, but like the only book that I could think of, it's not really a comic, but it's a book series in the Star Wars. So it's like the Young Jedi Knights. I read that when I was growing up, and I felt like it was a really good story. It was basically following the story of Han Solo and Princess Leia's two kids, and they were twins.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
Yeah, and like how like the powers developed, and they were trained by Luke Skywalker, which at the time was like, I would assume everyone's like favorite character, or at least mine. So it was really cool reading a story that involved him as being a teacher, and then also like the two kids of Han Solo and Princess Leia. So I think that would be interesting to like see on screen. I did read a lot of like the Star Wars books too, but I don't really remember much of the stories. So it's kind of hard for me to get behind like all the Star Wars stuff that's going on now. So it'll be cool to see something on screen that I actually remember.
No, that makes sense, and
Yeah.
it
You
sounds like
might
it's
get your
perfect
wish
for a new
too.
generation.
My bad. I was gonna jump in. You might get your wish too with those Star Wars movies, because like from what they said with the lineup, it's supposed to be like Episode 7 is gonna drop, and then the year after that, there's gonna be a standalone movie, and then the year after that, it's gonna be Episode 8, and then the year after that, it's supposed to be another standalone movie. So I'm kind of wondering what those standalone movies were, and maybe it is stuff straight from the book series. Maybe it's just like fillers and gaps and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, that makes sense too because I saw like an article saying that they were bringing like Mark Hamill back, and I was like, what the hell is he gonna do? He's mad old. But it would make sense if he was like, training someone. Then I could see like him having a purpose in the movies. But otherwise, I'm like, was he gonna do the voice of his character? I don't get it. But yeah, I guess we shall see.
Weird.
Yes, we shall. Alyssa, do you want to share your recommendations, or should I just jump in?
I mean, what I think is cool is that, besides mainstream comics, more and more comics that are not well known are becoming movies, and I think that's pretty cool. I mean, like, look at Guardians of the Galaxy, like Nate said. Nobody really knew about it, yet it's become, I think it's become like a huge smash this weekend. So, and there's actually been plenty of movies based off comics that not many people knew that they were based off comics. Like Men in Black series was actually based off a comic book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and what else? Kick-Ass was also based off a comic book.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and those two franchises, were
Did
very
really
successful. Even though that nobody knew that they were based off comics, but it gets people to look up and be like, oh, hey, I should check out what the original comic was like. So one of my favorite comic book series is it's not that obscure, but I guess to like mainstream audiences, they wouldn't really know about it. It's Vertigo's series, The Sandman, and I would love to see this get a movie adaptation. And I think there's been talks of it, of making a movie adaptation over the years. I think the writer Neil Gaiman is actually talking to like Joseph Gordon-Levitt about making a movie. But I mean, it sounds like. I've read the books. I don't know how they're gonna make it into a movie because a lot of them are like standalone stories, and a lot of them is just very trippy and fantastical. But I don't know if they can make it work. I would love to see it on the big screen.
Yeah, sounds cool. Well, I had a few in mind actually, and I wasn't sure which ones I should talk about. One of the comic books that came to mind was one that I found out about at Comic-Con last year, and it's called The First Law of Mad Science. It's about this scientist whose wife uncovered, she's an archaeologist, who uncovered this ancient land, and there's a bunch of really mysterious artifacts that they found there, and the scientist, he works for this corporation, and he made a lot of these scientific achievements and stuff, but one of the things that he invented, it's called Cyber Eyes, and he implanted these little contraptions into the eyes of a segment of the population, including his son, and now a few of them are seeing these strange green creatures appear. And one of the scientists who had the implants, he killed himself, the scientist's colleague, his colleague. So I can't wait to continue reading that. That is pretty recent. It was funded on Kickstarter. Another one that I'm interested in learning about that none of us knew about also was Constantine. That's going to be a television show on NBC. And I'm hearing a lot about it because I heard that the NBC producers, they kind of changed his story around a little bit. And, you know, it's for network TV, so I guess he's not going to be as hardcore. But also, like, he's apparently bisexual, and they changed him to be straight. Not really sure why they did that, but there's definitely a change of these different comic book characters in movies and television, and that's a whole nother segment. We actually covered that somewhat. So, yeah, so those two comic books are pretty cool. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking out another episode of Pondering Nerds. And we want to hear about any comic books that you guys have in mind. So feel free to comment below and let us know what comic books we should check out. All right, guys, take it easy and stay tuned for the next episode. Check us out on Twitter. We're going to be on iTunes soon. We have some awesome blogs on our new website. A lot of good things are happening. So stay tuned. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.